Hey everyone, Pastor Joe. Hey, thanks for giving me a minute. We're in the Valley of the Queens, and this is Hatshepsut's temple, and this is such an important thing. I want to just set the table just for a minute. So, one of the problems we have in liberal theology is they came through in the 19th century and basically screwed everything up by redating everything, and they've messed up the whole dating of the Exodus. They've messed up the entrance of Joshua into Jericho. We know from 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 1, that the Exodus took place 450 years prior to the dedication of the temple. And we know the day the temple of Solomon was dedicated. So that puts the date of the Exodus at 1445 BC. Now, where we're sitting is exactly in that time period. I'm going to give you thus saith the Lord, and I'm going to give you a little bit of thus saith Joe. All right, so you can do with this what you want, but it makes for a good story. Queen Hatshepsut is the only queen that ever ruled in Egypt until we get to Cleopatra later, but she's kind of Roman and Greek and Egyptian. But they were all men. Well, Hatshepsut even disguised herself as a man. It's not like there were photo shoots and videos, so she was able to pass herself off. But how did she become the Pharaoh of Egypt? So here's the story. King Tutmosis I is king. He's got multiple wives, and Hatshepsut is his number one wife. The Pharaoh is going to have his son, and that son will be the next Pharaoh. Hatshepsut cannot have children. The second wife has a child, so she's very jealous. One day, as we cross back into the biblical narrative, she's down by the Nile. Perhaps she's even had a plan to do this, and there's a baby floating in the Nile. She takes the baby and she names him Moses, which means the one who was taken out of the Nile. Now, Moses sounds an awful lot like Tutmosis, all right? I think you get that. So, if you've got the story to this point, we now have Moses, and then that second wife had a child. She had a son, and his name is Tutmosis, and we know him as Tutmosis III. Because Hatshepsut adopted Moses, that second wife's son is no longer going to be Pharaoh, and he is not a happy young man. So as time goes on, we'll know Tutmosis III as the warrior king. He hates everyone. He goes to war with everyone. We'll come back to him. So Moses is now set to be Pharaoh. Right up on the hill, the holes that we showed you beforehand, it is my contention that that was where Moses' tomb was supposed to be. When Moses was the crown prince here in Egypt, they would have started building his tomb. Moses' tomb was the one that we started this video with right here on the side of the hill, which is right next to his stepmother, which almost makes sense, right? Well, Tutmosis III is sort of a half-brother, different moms, but they grow up in the palace together. That's how, when Moses comes back to Luxor and he walks into the temple in Luxor and he says, "Let my people go." How did he even get in? You don't just walk into the White House. It's his half-brother, and a brother who's very angry. He's gone to war with everybody, every country. He's conquered everything, and he hates Moses more than you can possibly imagine. When Moses walks in and says, "Let my people go," it was a confrontation of siblings more than it was anything else. Then the 10 plagues happen. All of those are an attack on the Egyptian gods. When Tutmosis I dies, Moses should be Pharaoh now. But he's not, because he gets thrown out for killing an Egyptian. So his mother takes over the throne. Tutmosis III, once again, is very angry. When you get up here, you'll see that every one of her carvings has been cut off the wall, because Tutmosis III hated her as badly as he hated Moses. So Moses comes back and confronts him, and this monument behind us that we've shown you, if this is indeed his stepmother, this is how she came to power. All right, let's stop right there. We'll do an edit.